So it's finally been done. Japanese people are sick of foreigners, more specifically tourists, but foreigners kind of fall into that category as well. You may have seen all over social media of all of these posts, news articles, videos of foreigners being a nuisance in Japan. And it's gotten to the point where Japanese people are just fed up with it. But are Japanese people actually angry about this? Do they really want foreigners out of Japan? Just don't come here anymore. Get out of here. But before that, let's take a look at when this whole fiasco started. As you probably know, this whole problem started when a certain YouTuber called Johnny Somali came to Japan and started uploading videos, or I think it was live streams of him being a nuisance in Japan. And of course, there's always been videos of foreigners causing trouble in Japan. They've been posted on social media before, but I would say this is the first time that a I guess influencer, if you want to call it, and actually got a lot of attention. And if you don't know what kind of things that he did, he basically was a nuisance in restaurants, was harassing people, and at one point he also trespassed in a construction site and also got into a truck of a mail service that they have here in Japan. So he was just out of control here. And with him, that kind of started a snowball effect. Of course, he was actually reprimanded for what he did here in Japan.
Camera なんで
それも説明します。
Camera なんで Why you taking my photos? George Floyd, my face.
あなたに逮捕状が出てますな。
Don't touch! I'm taking it off. I'm taking it off. Okay, I'll take it off. I'll take it off.
So at least Japan got some justice with that. And, we could sit down and talk about what the outcome of that was and, how it wasn't, that much of a punishment. But, if Japan was satisfied with that punishment, I guess that's okay. But after him, there was actually another YouTuber that came. I forgot his name. I think it was Phineas or something. But he came and he and a group of friends started some kind of game to travel all over Japan the cheapest way possible.
Like that, we made 15,000 together and we split the money.
Ticket inspectors on this train, so I'm hiding in the toilet.
Now it's time to teach you how to get the train for free.
Which was riding trains without paying and also borrowing money from Japanese people, basically saying that they had no money, or I don't exactly remember what they were saying, but basically they were taking advantage of Japanese people here. And as you know, Japanese people are extremely friendly people, especially when it comes to foreigners. And he uploaded the whole entire thing on his YouTube channel. The video has been taken down already, but the whole entire thing was just very difficult to watch. Him taking advantage of the kindness of Japanese people. And then at the end of the video, him and all his friends celebrated by going on trips, going to Disney. And it was just a shame because a lot of the feedback that Japanese people gave from that video, it was very difficult to see. Everybody was very disappointed and saying that they couldn't trust foreigners again. And it's especially sad for the people who were in that video and gave the money. Just imagine how they felt whenever they saw that. Them being on YouTube, taking advantage, and just doesn't feel good. But unfortunately, he wasn't reprimanded for his crimes. He went back to his country. But I know for a fact there's actually not a warrant, but there's a lookout for him for if he ever comes back to Japan, he's going to be arrested. I think it was done by the Fukuoka police department. So they're waiting for him. So hopefully he comes back one day and forgets about what he did and he gets suddenly put in jail. But after these two YouTubers, it sort of became a witch hunt to find foreigners or tourists being a nuisance in Japan. And it just kind of became sort of like, not really a game, but just trying to find any situation where a foreigner was being a nuisance. And following along this, there was another popular video that rose up of a person who was a guide for a tour group, and one of the people in his group were ringing the bell at a shrine, but they weren't exactly ringing it, they were just like bashing it. And as you know, shrines are extremely, important for Japanese people, and extremely disrespectful, what he was doing. And a Japanese woman confronted them.
You're being very rude. Leave us alone.
ルードお前や
お
理解してるやん日本語
何がお前
日本語理解してるやん
何がお前
大事に扱
うる
えって言ってる
せえお前黙っとけお前
And that kind of started a whole fight. And that was just, I don't understand what was going on there. Just why would you do that? Just be respectful. It's not that hard. And after that video rose up, there was a lot of other videos, people stealing, people causing graffiti, people taking pictures of geisha as well. There was another popular video that came up, but there's just been a whole plethora of videos that just followed after that Johnny Somali incident, that just been posting on social media of foreigners doing bad stuff. And it's also been on the news, and actually it's gotten to the point where now news stations are trying to cover like foreigners that are doing dumb things in Japan. So there was a crew that was at Mount Fuji, because there's been a lot of talk of foreigners trying to climb Mount Fuji, but they don't take the precautions of climbing a mountain. They don't wear the right attire, and they think that if they just climb the mountain, that they just call a rescue crew to come save them if they get tired. And it's just, as somebody who's climbed the mountain here in Japan, if you want to check that out, you can check it out on my Japanese channel. But that, it was fun, but it was a grueling task. It wasn't as big as Mount Fuji, but you want to wear the right attire, especially if you're climbing a snowy mountain. And that TV crew was just there interviewing many foreigners that were not properly dressed, and they were just trying to kind of take this as a game and just interview them and make them look like fools on national TV. So in a way, you can think of it as Japanese people have started taking the stupidity of foreigners and just turn it into like profit and gain for themselves, which is kind of interesting that they have started to do that. But I don't blame them. But that brings me back to the main topic of this video is, are Japanese people actually angry at foreigners? And I can honestly say, probably not. I don't think so. People, like you've probably heard before, Japanese people don't like to be emotional. They are, I don't want to say they're like a different kind of people, because we're all humans, But when it comes to their way of thinking, they don't want to hold things against other people. They just want to know, why are people misbehaving? Why are they not respecting their country? They just want to know why. Why are people doing these things? And of course, there are some people who are more well versed on the internet. They know that these people are doing these things because they want to gain fame over the internet. Well, some of them do, but some of them, they just run around like wild animals. And that has a lot to do with the yen as well, because anybody can just come to Japan. And that's not necessarily to say that's a bad thing. It's just, it comes into conflict with the whole entire, capacity. Just, there's too many people coming to Japan, and just Japan cannot meet the demand of that. So when that happens, people just get out of control. Maybe that's what's causing all of this, all of these problems that are happening. But it could also just tie back to people just want fame on the internet, and that's why they do this kind of stuff. But with that being said, if you come to Japan, are you going to be reprimanded by Japanese people and telling you to go back to your country? No, they're not going to do that. Like I said, a lot of the people that really don't want foreigners to come to Japan, it's the same thing as the keyboard warriors that we have. Those people, they just live behind the computer. And a lot of the people you meet out in the streets, they're not going to do that. Maybe there'll be a chance where you'll meet somebody who really doesn't like foreigners, but I don't think that the chances of that happening are very small. So you can still come to Japan and just have a great time. Of course, just be respectful of the country and people, and you'll have just the best time of your life here. So with that being said, yeah, just come to Japan. Just come, have fun, and just be respectful, and that's pretty much it. But that's all I have for you guys. Comment down below, like or dislike if you'd like, and I'll see you guys next time.